Few
Okay,
minutes.
okay. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, depending on where you're listening or watching from. This is Leadership Talk with Adegoke, another episode, and I have with me my friend and my colleague, Coach Omobolaji Aiyedogbon. She's a certified Maxwell coach, speaker, and trainer. And today we're going to be speaking to the topic leadership and podcasting. Yes, leadership and podcasting. How are you today, my friend? How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Good morning, everyone.
Awesome.
I'm very
Awesome.
well, thank you. Good morning, everyone. It's
Okay.
awesome to be here.
All right. Well done. Well done. Okay. So the way the session is going to go this segment is that Coach Omobolaji is going to be asking me questions about leadership and podcasting. And I'm also going to be asking a few questions about our upcoming podcast, which promises to be powerful and high impact, Voice of Haven podcast. So the floor is yours, Coach Omobolaji.
All right. Good morning once again to you all. It's it's an amazing season we have here. And thank God we are in a season of, yes, everybody calls it freedom. And I'm glad that freedom has gotten you here and has gotten each and every one of us here. So
Yeah.
once again, Omobolaji Aiyedogbon is my name, and I'm super happy and glad to be here. And
Okay.
thank you for having me here.
Okay.
Of recent, we heard, and I know you actually posted it when you were recognized by ChatGPT as a phenomenal and an exceptional podcaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So tell us about it. Tell us about what got you into this field of podcasting, because I know it's a space whereby it has helped you to accomplish a lot. So tell us what got you into that space.
Thank you, Coach Omobolaji. It's a privilege to be acknowledged by ChatGPT as the number one leadership podcast in Nigeria. But it's been a journey of about over 4 years, trying to add value. And it didn't just come by accident. It's been a lot of perseverance, intentionality, and, a clarity about what we want to do and what we want to achieve. Not just to show up as a podcast, but to show up as a podcast that is adding value. So we're almost in about, I think it's about 120th episode that we're having now, or 121st. So it's such a privilege to be in that space. We've had different guests, including yourself, come on the podcast, and all over the world, the US, Canada, uh, just nations across the world. And it's such a privilege. And you can see the shirt, Leadership Talk with Adegoke. We're so proud to show up, and the brand is really resonating with the public. Thank you.
Oh, awesome. I like the fact that you're able to bring in that passion and what led you into that passion. And this passion is what I'm sure is going to encourage a lot of people that are listening to this podcast
Mm,
jump into podcasting and become a better leader. So we're going to look into what leadership is.
mm,
We all have different definitions for leadership. So I want you to give us your own definition for
mm,
leadership and how it has changed everything around you.
mm. Okay, there are different, expressions of leadership or meanings of leadership. But I just believe that leadership is having, a vision, and you have that vision, and you're able to carry people along in such a way that, that vision is executed, because if you're not able to carry people along, which is communicate effectively and, inspire people to be locked into that your vision. It becomes just a mirage, you know. So I believe once again is having clarity about your vision, carrying people along, communicating in such a way that inspires them, and executing that vision effectively. Yes, so that's my little definition of leadership, and I believe it captures so many things. Yeah.
So
Thank you.
if you want to get to a stage of realizing or recognizing that people know you for leadership, what is that one word you want people to say when they look at you? What is that one leadership word you want them to tag along with you?
Okay, so that's collaboration. Collaboration. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember we usually call you Mr. Collabo.
Thank you, Coach Balaji. It's such a privilege. I mean, we're also showing up because I usually believe that I strongly believe that there's the African proverb that says that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go with others. You and I are showing up, and we're speaking to the whole world right now. So yeah, thank you so much. Collaboration is it? Yeah.
Wow, awesome, awesome. So if you need someone to collaborate with you, please don't hesitate. Make sure you get in touch with him
Mm,
because he's going to collaborate and not just collaborating. There's one wonderful thing he does. He will hold you by your hands
mm.
and take you through it and make sure you get to know it well.
Thank
So we look
you.
into podcasting.
Yes, sir.
We are here. Podcasting is something that you've been recognized for.
Mm,
It's something that has elevated a lot of, traits and values in
mm,
the lives of people.
mm,
And, when you look at it very well, it has erased geographical limits.
mm.
And so in the process of erasing this thing, I want you to explain to us how you see podcasting serving as a platform to connect with leaders globally and also share solutions and bridge cultural divides.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a good question, Coach Omobolaji. Now, podcasting, is such a beautiful concept that it's still been underutilized. I say to coaches, if you're a coach and you don't have a podcast, you have not really started. Podcasting for me, experientially, is taking me to nations, Libya, Canada, the US, Africa, Uganda, countries that ordinarily I would not have been able to get into. And because of that, I've had uh, guests coming to speak. I mean, the last one was leadership and regrowth from a guy called Ernesto Gomez, who had been in the HR sector for over 40 years and just retired last year and was speaking on leadership and regrowth. I mean, so already I have a friend in Mexico. I have people call me come onto my podcast from Australia. Uh, Brown Williams, amazing lady who's doing a PhD at the moment. So the impact of podcasting, is that you're able to have people come on your show. It's different from a radio program where, once you just listen to and that's it. But a podcast can be listened to over and over again. It's educational, it's transformational, and it's also impactful. And it's also able to be used in agenda setting for nations as as coaches, our voices need to be heard. It breaks barriers. I mean, the US, I mean, I've been to nations where, I get into those spaces and they say, oh, we already know you. I mean, it helps also with your search engine optimization, even as a coach. It helps to position you as a thought leader, in spaces where ordinarily you'll have had to seek for support, or seek for, attention. So, ordinarily it's cheap, to become a podcaster because you are running like your own media organization. You are elevating your brand. So I think podcasting is the way to go. For me, the more podcasters we have, the better. And congratulations on your forthcoming podcast the Voice of Haven podcast. We're looking forward to it, and I have no doubt that you're also going to become globally influential and recognized very shortly. Congratulations once again. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah.
And anyone can handle a microphone today. Anyone can be on a platform to speak globally.
Yeah.
And they can be influential in so many ways.
Yeah.
But what safeguards should global podcasters adopt to ensure that their influence builds unity and progress? Their influence builds values, brings solutions, even to nations. For example, using Nigeria today, we're celebrating our independence. Yes, it's freedom
Congratulations to
for all of
Nigeria.
us.
Yeah.
Yes, it's freedom for all of us. But, in that space, what can podcasters, how can you encourage them to build influence, unity, progress, rather than spreading division and misinformation, to the world at large?
Okay, good. I was listening to, an Instagram, reel yesterday by Sarah Jakes Roberts, the daughter of TD Jakes, and she was talking about your voice, that, people look at discipline and say, okay, discipline is, freedom. But even while you have your freedom, you have to be ethical. Your voice has to be to elevate, and also to bring hope to people, not to discourage people and not to cast aspersions on, as we show up, even on our podcast. I mean, I've had 120 episodes or even more. I'm very careful about the language. I'm very careful about the guests that I bring on, and very careful about the image, because the truth of the matter is that once you say things, it will be in the archives. So long after you're gone, those words, you'll be accountable for the things that you have said. And so, not out of being vindictive or being, critical, that you lose, there's no guardrail. So I think for us as podcasters, the way you show up, we must show up in an authentic manner, and we must show up to add value and bring people together and not to be divisive. So it's very important that we have a very powerful agenda to transform and to bring about change in a very, very professional manner. Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. As you were speaking, a
Okay.
thought crossed my mind just now, and it will lead me to my next question.
Yeah.
And the question is, what is that thing, or what are those values we must hold there as upcoming podcasters, or those who even want to go into it? What are those values we must hold there that would guide us, just as you're holding our hands to tell us this is how you should go about it? There is a way and there is the way. So what are those values we must hold there as we dive into being a wonderful and a successful podcaster, not just bringing the glory to us, but bringing success to everyone around us? So what are those values we must stick to? What are those values we must hold there as podcasters?
Good. Top of the line for me is integrity. Integrity, so very important. You must have, that character that portrays that, you're very truthful, and you're very transparent. You can't come with an hidden agenda, just to use that to, drive traffic and gain followers. It's not about gaining followers. Integrity is important. Authenticity is also very important. It's not about copycats. So it has to come from within. Your own message has to be authentic, because people will, from a distance, they know whether you are doing it because you want to trend, so authenticity is very important. Then consistency. Podcasting is not something you do and you come up and you just do about 10 episodes and you go into the cooler, come out again after about 2 weeks, or 1 year. You have to be consistent, because followers, they're used to your voice, they're used to your content. Then, the other value is, I think leadership, it's so important. Not because I have a leadership podcast, but that value of, you are leading in your own small way. So there's so many values, but I think top of the line for me is integrity, authenticity, consistency, and leadership. People don't care how much you know. They know it's about how much you care. It's about influence. We're using our voice in the replay. People are going to be listening to this podcast, and you'll be amazed at the kind of reviews and feedback that we get just from showing up. So yeah, thanks a lot for Coach Omobolaji for once again coming on this show to add value. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much for this answer, because I'm able to see something that plays out anytime I think about you. And that is being unique,
Yeah, thank you.
authentic, and consistent
Mm,
when you're doing things. And this, whenever you say some things, I just see those words flying around everything you say. And I'm so happy
mm,
that you're able to release this to us. Now, looking at the youths,
mm,
over 60%
yeah.
of the world's population, are young people.
Mm,
How can we equip and inspire this generation to break free from the circle of poor leadership and redefine the narratives in
mm,
everything
mm.
they're doing? Because
Okay.
youths all over are looking for help.
Mm.
Sincerely, they are looking for help.
So true. So true. Coach, one word that comes to mind is trust. You have to be able to earn their trust. When we're dealing with youths, it's not to condemn them and begin to, create an environment that is toxic. They're looking for leadership that they can trust. Come down to their level, get into the spaces where you can have conversations with them, and let them share their thoughts, listen, we should listen more. And that's why it's good to have this kind of podcast, it cuts across various genres, demographics. And so we use our voices to, encourage them and empower them and let them know that we can be trusted, through the way we show up, through ability to listen and, allow them to also grow because we have also gone through that process. Sometimes we just look at these youths as being impatient, but even while we were younger, we made some mistakes. Allow them to fail and learn as they go along. So it's important to that element of trust, be very open, be an open book to the youths. We shouldn't be impatient with them. Allow them to, express themselves, but even at that, be willing to hold them by the hands and create mentorship. That's so important. They need mentorship. No one becomes great just by accident. I mean, I'm also a product of mentorship like yourself, being on the John Maxwell team. So yeah, trust is so important. Yeah, thank you.
Wow, thank you, thank you, thank you so much. The last question I just asked,
Yeah,
it's so dear to my heart
yes.
because I work with children, I work with the
Go
youth,
ahead.
I work with young adults,
Awesome.
and for every adult I come in contact with, I
Mm,
speak to the child in them,
mm,
and so I'm happy that you've given me a tip on
mm.
how to even help the adults reconnect
With
with
the youth.
their
Yeah,
youths, with the
yeah.
child in them, so
Mm.
that they can come up, and show forth in the right way. So thank you so much for answering these few questions of mine.
You're
And
welcome,
I
coach.
hope these questions actually brought life back into you and brought meaning, brought a reason back into you to become who you really want to be. So thank you so much for all that. And God
Thank you,
bless you, sir.
coach. Well done, well done. Fantastic questions. I'm amazed. I mean, you've shown your pedigree that you came prepared. And I hope I didn't disappoint you. Now, I just want to ask you a final question because this is so important. I know that you have something big coming out. It's huge. Tell us about this your Coach of Heaven podcast in a minute. So that our listeners all over the world can really tap into what is about to be unveiled very shortly. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, all right. Thank you for this opportunity to say this and, elaborate a little more on it. So, Voice of Heaven is a sanctuary for CEOs,
Okay.
for business owners, and for visionary leaders who are navigating stress, burnout, and setbacks in everything they do. And those who are trying to transition. So it is not just another leadership podcast. It's not just another leadership podcast. It's a place where leaders will come, the pause to breathe, and also rediscover clarity, and
Okay.
also to reconnect with the child within. And through therapeutic conversations like this and timeless leadership insights and stories, stories, because we learn from stories of everyone around us,
Fantastic.
and those stories actually help us to,
Thank you.
heal. So, Voice of Heaven helps leaders to lead with wholeness
Okay.
and also with courage and authenticity, like you
Okay. Okay.
said.
So, when is it coming out? When are you unveiling?
Okay.
Or you keep us posted?
Yes, I'll definitely keep you posted of when
Okay.
it's going to start. It's going to come up.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, Coach. So you've heard it from Coach Omobolaji Aiyedogbon, John Maxwell, certified leadership coach and fellow podcaster. She's unveiling our podcast, Voice of Haven podcast, very shortly, and we're looking forward to it. And thank you for those powerful questions. It's been an amazing session on Leadership Talk with Adegoke, and this session on leadership and podcast. Thank you once again. Have a good day. Until same time, shortly. Have a good one. Thank you.